You are a musician. Do you think the ayahuasca or the retreats help you to be more creative?
Yes. What I noticed this year, I mean, it's an ongoing process. And I noticed at the end of the ceremony, when everything's coming down, maybe there's music playing or the music stops and you hear the jungle and the wind and noises, and you're very aware of all the sounds of nature around you. And I mean, I realized this year, hearing that I think ayahuasca has somehow changed, rewired my brain to a different sort of consciousness that's much more in tune with things. Even walking around New York, I feel more the sun, the wind, the trees. I see things that I maybe before I was really locked in my own head and my own issues, and seem much more open. I think that, yeah, for whatever creative pursuit you're doing, it really opens you up. And that was something I really noticed. I didn't quite. I mean, I had noticed it, but at this retreat, I really thought, oh wow, last year my perceptions have really changed a lot.
Sean, in your practices, you practice a lot of sports and martial arts. Do you think ayahuasca or one of the workshops can help in this type of practices?
Yeah, I definitely think it helped me in my last competition, actually.
Why?
Well, I think it just allowed me to trust myself more, and trust in my process, by being more considerate of my feelings and being more patient with myself and giving myself more credit. I think leading into the tournament, which was just a couple of weeks before I came here, I just trusted myself, and I listened to my body. And sometimes I don't. I go with the program and kind of follow what the other teammates are doing, even though my body's saying maybe not today, or we should condition something else that they're not going to work on in there. So I trusted myself, and I've only been in 3 tournaments, and I've lost the first 2 very handsomely, but the last one went my way, and I ended up getting 3 fights and basically winning 2 of the 3, and the ones that mattered both by submission, which matters. So yeah, I mean, I just focused and present, much more present now.
So you enjoy more?
I do, yeah, because I get out of my own way. I leave myself alone and I'm just present. It's like the chatter's slowly getting limited now. It's one of the big things I took home with me, is to wind myself down and really focus on that, be present. It definitely revealed like mental blockages that I had, and ideas about myself that were limiting, and profoundly changed my process with really the world when I came home. So I was inspired and encouraged with a lot of good ideas as a result of my time here. And I spent the last 6 months just diligently working on those great insights and just really making them part of my normal routine. And I mean, the change is outstanding. I feel I'm much healthier all the way around, just a much healthier person inside and out as a result. And my first experience, I walked away thinking, wow, this is something like you don't just do one time. It's just so encouraging and helpful. It's every message that you'd want to know comes in the right order. It's very mysterious and magical. And that same thing happened the second time here as well. I mean, everything that I could have hoped for, I got again. And I'm excited to go home and implement everything and keep going. It's just like a great pleasure to continue to come here and get the lessons that I get here. And then the integration with the workshops is for me, it's critical.
What I observed was a contradiction, because you said in one of the workshops that you are insensitive, although the pictures you do are very detailed and it's showing that you are a very sensitive person because you are seeing things that very little people see.
Okay.
So how it is that? Are you sensitive or not? Or you are sensitive for a few things only?
That's a long. There's a long answer. I think I'm insensitive in my relationships. With people sometimes because I'm not sensitive to my own feelings. I sweep them under the rug so I can get on with things. If I'm dismissive to myself, then I lose the skill set to be sensitive to other people's feelings because I've put mine aside. So how am I going to consider someone else's when I'm neglecting my own? It's not top of mind. But in denying my sensitive side, that was like self-punishment for myself because, dealing with Carrie's death, dealing with things for 20 years, alcohol has helped me. And it was like kerosene on the fire when Carrie got sick. And it was for 3 years she battled cancer and I just drank like crazy, And so I denied myself pleasures when I'm drinking because I didn't respect myself for the way I used alcohol. And so my punishment, it was revealed to me here. It was like I don't get to experience the things that bring me pleasure, which is like art and creating and that kind of stuff. So it was super liberating to come here, and I never even enjoyed taking pictures until I came here.
Really?
So-
You're so good at it.
What? Professional.
Beautiful.
No, I never
right?
started until I came here, and then I came home and
Sure.
I started taking pictures. Like I live by a river, and so I go to the river every week, and I chronicled basically all of spring and printed out all these nice pictures and made a cool collage all over the side of the refrigerator. And instead of having flowers in the house now and they
Yes.
die and wilt, I like replace the pictures like all around the house like every few weeks, and so now it's like I'm
sweet.
following the seasons in the house.
So you are
and
allowing beauty in your
allowing
everyday
beauty,
life.
the takeaway for me, if I had to sum it all up 6 months ago, was you need to put yourself in situations where you thrive. Like you need to let your inner nature thrive. Put yourself in the light, whatever that means. And certainly that meant coming back here. That means coming back here again. But then also, it's not just ayahuasca. It's like I got lots of work to do that I'm excited to get working on.
Right,
At home.
yeah.
So it's a process. It's
Yeah.
an enjoyable one.
Another interesting observation is that you said I am very critical, and skeptic. So I think ayahuasca is very good for this type of personality.
Yeah, especially yesterday. Like I felt like the imagery that came to mind yesterday. I was so humbled by what happened. Like I felt like the classic like Western explorer, like in the jungle with the safaris on, and he comes to this tomb and like learns this ancient mysterious secret, and he's just humbled, like he didn't know this kind of power existed. Like I was in complete reverence. It works very curiously.
Maggie, you are a teacher, you work with children. For example, the workshop about your own inner child, do you think will help you to understand better children?
Yes, I do. And it's funny because I noticed a few children this year that I refer to them as having hungry eyes or hungry hands. I had talked to another teacher about it. I said, those kids, there's always one in the line that you see, and they just want you to see them.
Aw.
And this year I've mentored a few children like that, that I've seen are looking for that extra attention. I've taken them into my classroom and allowed them to come in as helpers and work with the younger children. It's a special needs class. And I found out one of these little girls had some really, like, just heartbreaking background that she shared with me on her last day. And that came back to me this week. Because I realized that I shared a lot of that stuff that she had. So it was like, that moment where I was like, oh, I have a sensitivity to that because I see that's my inner child and I'm seeing in their eyes that little girl that needs that attention. So yeah, it was pretty powerful, and I think that I think I was kind of moving towards that, but it really reaffirmed
So
it.
now you are paying more attention to your own inner child.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I rescued her a few times. See, and I didn't know that I could do that. I had the experience before, but I didn't have the tools. And I feel like it's allowing me to kind of put the lid on the box and tie it up and just kiss it off. Whereas before, the box was still kind of unopened and things were jumping in and out.
Yeah.
Does that make
Good
sense?
way. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was like I had unwrapped it, but I didn't quite finish the process.
You had other members of your family that come to this retreat before,
Yes.
and you saw them changing.
Yeah.
That's why
The
you
changes were
decided
so
to-
dynamic. Yeah. Yeah, some of the changes were pretty dynamic. Ed came through and he came back and like, just with a glow. And I mean, it's been 8 months and he's still got just that glow. It's just, this is someone who
But not
Often
only a
he's-
glow, he
he
changed it
he
very...
he came back. He went from a staunch meat eater to he quit smoking. He quit drinking. He quit eating meat.
Good.
He's someone that did a lot of I can'ts because he has a lot on. You know, he has a lot of responsibilities, and he's leading a lot of us. Like he's got a big job and a huge responsibilities, but he did a lot of I can't do this, I can't do that, and he'd say I just can't. And now he has these systems in place. I mean, he takes pleasure in his routines. He picks up after himself. He's just highly organized and much more functional, much more efficient, and happier. And it's amazing to see that it's trickled down through the whole family. Everyone's very impressed. And, you know, people always think when someone stops drinking, someone here mentioned, someone said, I hope you don't come back not being any fun. And I was horrified by that comment. But I think people are just scared once people change. And he said to me, you know, I'm sorry, I know it's not easy to have such an extreme change in me. I think it's probably hard for family and friends, but it's not. It's such a pleasure to see someone you love not abusing themselves.
Yeah, to be free.
To be
finally.
free. And I had said to him, is it hard? And he said, no, it's the easiest thing I've ever done because I understand why I was doing that, why I was treating myself so poorly, why I was abusing myself.
Because
He
he healed
gets it.
his wounds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And he will continue healing more wounds because we all have a lot of wounds.
yeah,
But as you said before, the intention of the tools to apply are empowerment. So you go back home and you use your own power.
yeah.
You are not a slave anymore. You are free using your power. You discover what was the blockage.
Yeah, and you understand that it's you. That's something I heard a lot through my journeys. I just hear the words, it's you, it's you, it's you, it's you, repeat over and over. And it is, it's us.
Yeah.
It's 100% up to us. And I'll hear someone in our household say, you know, life is just hard, it can be really rough, and you'll hear Ed's voice from the other room say, it doesn't have to be. And he's right, it doesn't have to be.
Well, don't have to be when you heal the wound.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Only then you are free, because if not, it's like, what are they talking about? You
Yeah.
can't do it. You need to feel numb, drink because you are suffering, but when you don't have that pain anymore, there is no purpose to be numb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
and
is
it's
easy.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to see, and it's great to be around that energy.
Hey, last year you were very afraid to come to Brazil alone. You said to me, but I am a woman traveling alone. What happened this year? Did you feel the same?
No.
What
No.
changed?
Okay, so yes, I was scared last year. I've never been to Brazil. I mean, I'd never taken ayahuasca. I've traveled the world, but I've gone to, you know, hotels and I know where I'm going, and I was just a little afraid. I wasn't sure of my surroundings, how it's all going to play out. So
But what
Because-
caught my attention is that you said that I am a woman and I am
Yes.
traveling alone.
yes, and you know what I realized was that I'm putting that out there. That's in my own head. It's no different than whether I get up in LA or England or, you know, anywhere in the world. It was my fear from, I guess, how I've been raised, and I don't need to feel like that anymore. And well, also because you took care of us from the moment we landed. So there's that, you know, I wasn't on my own. You led me here, and it was great, and very safe. I felt safe and secure.
What I
So-
felt is when you were saying I am a woman and traveling alone. What I feel is your inner child needed protection.
Yes, yeah, and it was, and that was a lot of my lessons that I look back on, and there's many areas in my life where I may be afraid. Because I had this fear since a child drilled into me, there's many situations I feel that fear, or I did, and I don't anymore. I don't as much.
Did you have enough protection when you were a child?
I didn't have protection, and I learned that from the inner child exercise workshop.
So
and
when
that's
you,
why I
when
like
you,
it
when
so
you
much.
were saying, I am a woman traveling alone,
Mhm.
you were a child traveling alone.
Yes, yeah.
This is what you
I-
were feeling, not
I-
a woman traveling alone.
Right, I
a
was
little girl.
a little girl
Yeah.
that hadn't already traveled the world. Like, it was my first trip, and I was leaving, coming
Mhm.
into a strange classroom or whatever, and
Mhm.
and that's why I like the inner child so much. If you saw my life, how I was from a year ago to now, I mean, I'm completely organized, and things are just working out, and it's getting better and better, and I look forward to my future, and I look forward to getting rid of that baggage that I've carried around with me for so long.
Because the
I can
magic
see-
is when you protect the inner child, the woman can use the resources.
Yes,
Before, the woman was blocked.
yes, yeah,
Now,
Absolutely.
because she's protected, you can function much better.
yep, absolutely. I do feel different. I feel calm and in control, and it's really a great feeling. And I thank you. I cannot even imagine my life still as it was, as how good I feel today, and how I see my future looking.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.